Hello and welcome, people of the internet. Starshot Sky back to finally stream again. I was sadly unavailable to stream back on Thursday like I normally do. I actually ended up catching a fever, and so it's a bit hard to do that, especially if I couldn't get much sleep afterwards either. You know, it's funny enough, I actually caught it, or I actually really felt the symptoms back on Wednesday, but it didn't really hit home until like around 5 or 6 o'clock. So by then I was pretty much, really, just what you normally experience from a fever, and so I was having trouble getting to sleep to the point that I only had 3 hours yesterday, so I definitely didn't feel like I could do much streaming. But thankfully, I'm all better now after just taking the day. I was a bit late, of course, to stream today like I normally do, but I had to catch up on my sleep. But I still try to stream whatever little bit I can. I might do a little bit more just to make up for it. And of course, with it being Friday, we are now here to play a new game that I've never played before, and something I'd like to keep doing and playing, called Nex Machina, Death Machine. So, this looked like a very interesting, fast-paced, action-packed game, which I was interested in. And now that the Steam Summer Sale has hit, I was able to pick this little guy up for about $6. So that seems like a pretty good deal if you ask me. Or I'm at least certain it was 6. I could be wrong, I'd have to double check just to be sure, but Steam Summer Sale, you can find plenty of games now for, as low as $1 to as high as 60, I'm sure, but, there are plenty of games out on sale. Like, I know the new South Park game is, like, out for, or is available for 20, so, and then of course I picked up a few other games as well, since they went on sale. And I had a gift card I hadn't used yet, so that was a pretty good time as any to pick up any games you've kept your eye on. I might pick up 1 or 2 more depending on kind of what the sale looks like, and if there's something I really want and I don't want to wait or something like that. But I should be all right in that respect. So we'll see kind of how that goes. But for now, why don't we go ahead and get our get some gameplay going and just see how awesome this new game is. I'm pretty much going to be using my Logitech controller for this guy here, since the idea is, I believe it's a twin stick shooter is what it's called. Let's see, so we got arcade, online, single world, local, feats, which is I'm sure just achievements, then of course options. So let's see, just making sure kind of everything is kind of where we want it. Looks to be good. Yeah, so we'll just stick to recommended because that should be kind of what our system can handle. Let's see, and I'll just try the arcade mode here. So we got rookie, experienced, and veteran for a moderate challenge for seasoned Nex Machina players. 99 continues, more enemies and humans. Enemies move and attack slightly faster. Veteran, and then the default difficulty. Use this difficulty to master the mechanics in the levels. You'll need that mastery down the road. Okay, so even though, like, right now I'm just seeing this as easy, normal, and hard mode, and then nightmare, as I'm used to having it played as. They seem to recommend you go for rookie, as they call it, first if you've never played this game before. Which, it sounds fine to me for the most part. Since I've never played the game before, and it would be good to kind of get the mechanics and abilities down before trying something more. And with this being an arcade mode, I'm sure, you know, like, I'll be replaying areas and places more often than just once over like you would in a normal game. So let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, so it's pretty much a twin stick shooter. You move with one and then you shoot with the other. And then once you clear an area, you move on to another one.
All humans saved.
Okay, so I do have a dash, and I have to use one of the trigger buttons to do it.
All humans saved. Multiplier up.
And there are what looks like spawn points for some of the enemies, so you also have to make sure you take care of those before you move on.
All humans saved. Dash explosion.
So this isn't too bad so far.
Multiplier up.
Okay, it looks like to get through that at least I have to dash.
Multiplier up. All humans saved. Multiplier up.
Darn it, I think I ended up hitting one of the beams when I was trying to dash through it.
Dash explosion.
Darn it. I keep doing that.
Weapon spread.
Okay, so I can destroy the beams.
All humans saved.
Darn it, I keep getting hit by the by just one bot, which is pretty annoying.
Dash explosion. Multiplier up. Weapon range.
Yeah, you really do need to keep an eye out, kind of where all the enemies are, and you can't let them touch you, or you can pretty much die right there.
Weapon spread. Shield. All humans saved. Disruptor detected. Multiplier up.
So, you know, like, I guess what first drew me to this game was how colorful it was. Like, it was definitely had all the, you know, 80s neon kind of look to it. And, like, because a lot of games, or at least a lot of the shooter games, the ones that everyone kind of looks at or are popular, are always kind of gray and grimy. So, and I never really understood fully why some people were into it that much. Darn it. Oh, okay, so I actually had a shield there, which helped.
All humans saved. Multiplier up.
Let's see. So, you know, because of how colorful it was, and just, it does seem like something interesting to play, because it talked about challenge, the, you know, just,
Multiplier up.
it's very much like a bullet hell, which it's kind of funny to think, you know, it's mostly been
Shield.
the Japanese who kind of developed that genre, and where you'll find most of them. And then of course it's the idea of an arcade shooter, which I used to play quite a few games back in the arcade days, which were always fun. It's too bad that arcades themselves have kind of gone out of style, or
Shield lost.
just, you know, aren't really that popular anymore, to the point that you can't really... Okay, I guess I should have dashed there, but oh well.
Multiplier up. All humans saved.
Ah, darn it. Yes, I would like to continue. Oh yeah, and so, you know, being able to play games like this again is interesting, because it's very much something you wouldn't normally play otherwise. Like, especially like back in the arcade days even. Darn it.
Weapon spread.
Like, I'm trying to think, like Galaga was kind of very much one of the first ones you would ever see. Ah, darn it. I can't seem to, I haven't fully gotten the dash down just yet.
Weapon spread.
Darn it, I was hoping to save the humans. I want to try and keep doing that, but...
All humans saved. Multiplier up. Triple dash. All humans saved.
There we go.
Multiplier up.
But yeah, and so of course, like, I spotted this game one day, saw its video, it looked interesting, but I wasn't interested enough to pick it up right away, or for whatever its cost was, so...
Dash explosion.
And of course I always enjoy challenging games, you know, games that kind of try to, you know, that make you think, make you try to work for the win. And so I was curious to give this a try when it went on sale, and I figured, hey, why not? With just because I felt it was a pretty good deal. Like, I always try to buy games that you know, you can get for a good, you know, that you wouldn't, you know, be able to get otherwise for a certain price.
World complete.
Okay, so that was the first world at least. But sadly, I didn't save all the humans. Oh, apparently there are secret humans that can be saved too. And then secret exits, beacons, disruptors, visitors, max human combo, time played, world complete. So there's definitely plenty of reasons why you might want to replay an area again if you want. So, but yeah, so as I said, why not pick up a game while it's on sale, and what better sale to do it on than the sale that, you know, than the summer sale that Steam likes to have every year. Okay, so it looks like there are pieces of the buildings I can actually destroy. Darn it. Yeah, I definitely need to get used to kind of how this game is and try to keep an eye out for things. Seems to be the idea you kind of have to go on. And of course the music in this game as well, it sounds pretty good too.
All humans saved. Multiplier up. Weapon range.
Ah, darn it. I wanted to get that, you know, that buff, but no, that guy had to get in the way, didn't he? Well, at least the humans who seem to get in trouble don't die right away, at least.
Dash explosion. Weapon range. Rocket launcher. All humans saved. Multiplier up.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the rocket launcher does yet, but hey, that's kind of... it's all in, you know, an experience you kind of try to learn and when you start playing any game. I think that's always been something I've enjoyed when it comes to playing games, is getting to learn the mechanics and master them.
Secret level. All humans saved. Multiplier up. Triple dash. Secret level.
Oh, really? So how do I unlock the secret level, though? Oh, darn it. Oh, well, that's...
Weapon range.
And there we go with the beams again.
Dash explosion.
Yeah, well, at least when it returns me, it does it pretty quickly here. I know some games that they seem to take a while to kind of... It's like, hey, maybe you want to get back to playing the game, not focus on, oh yeah, you just died.
All humans saved. Multiplier up. All humans saved. Multiplier up.
Darn it, I needed to dash there.
Triple dash. Maximum weapon power. All humans saved. Multiplier up. Shield lost.
Okay, how do I save that guy who was over there? You know, like they definitely don't give you much time to figure out some of the secrets to this game right away.
All humans saved. Multiplier up.
I can see this game definitely getting addicting, and you know, just and that there's plenty of quality to it. Okay, there we go. I can finally move.
Multiplier up. Nice. All humans saved.
But yeah, so so I definitely would recommend like pretty much during the Steam Summer Sale, I'm sure if you haven't picked up a game for whatever reason, you know, now's a good time as any. And you know, and I'll of course try and show off some of the games I've picked up during the sale as well. You know, if they're good games to play for stream and all that. Most of them are one or two, maybe not as much. But of course, just kind of let me know what games some of you guys might be interested in seeing me play and all that. If you have any, you weren't sure if you wanted to pick up or yet or stuff like that.
Shield lost. All humans saved.
Darn it. The there we go again. It is good to kind of have the continues. Like, even though 99 continues probably would have been fine too. This is definitely one of those games that you know, you would definitely want to make sure you have plenty of time to practice and not feel like you have to worry about dying as much. Darn it. Because it does feel like this is one of those games where memorization would really help in kind of finding what it is you need to accomplish or do here to beat things. Okay, so we got this guy who kind of kept shooting stuff.
All humans saved. Multiplier up. Secret human saved.
Well, I found the secret human, at least.
Dash explosion.
Okay, yeah, I need to... Like, I'm not used... Like, definitely any new game you play, it's gonna take a while to get used to some of the mechanics and kind of how things work. Like, most of the games you see me streaming, I haven't done that much off-screen in practicing them. Like, very rarely do I play those games unless I'm streaming, because I have plenty of other stuff I kind of work on, as well as other games that I've already started that I kind of want to work on for other reasons.
Multiplier up. Shield lost.
Ah, I lost my shield.
All humans saved.
And then, of course, learning all the different enemies and kind of how they fight is another thing to kind of work on as well.
Multiplier up. All humans saved. Extra life. Shield.
There we go. Got the shield, so we're good for that.
Multiplier up.
And it looks like destroying some of the objects does help you find some of the secrets that they seem to have hidden around.
All humans saved. Small bomb. Multiplier up. Shield lost.
I was hoping the smart bomb would act like a shield or something, or maybe a canceller for attacks.
All humans saved. Disruptor detected.
What? Darn it.
All humans saved. Multiplier up. Weapon spread. Shield. Rocket launcher. Extra life.
But yeah, this is definitely like there's no other name to call this but a bullet hell. With, you know, all the kind of projectiles that kind of fly around. The only difference is this one isn't as crazy as some of the Japanese ones I've seen before in the past. Like, I haven't played that many myself. Like, I at least played Ikaruga a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely something I don't normally do, but I do find it an interesting challenge. And that they do try to give you enough ways and skills to kind of be able to beat some of this from some of these places. So I did a lot better this time though. But like some of these other things they keep telling me is like, I'm not sure where the heck those are, that's for sure. But I think I'm doing pretty well so far. Let me go ahead and get some water here. And be right back to continue a little bit here. Well, let's go ahead and continue with the game here. Not sure how many worlds there are, but I'm guessing a decent amount for this game. Like, I would think a good number is usually 6 to 7.
All humans saved. Shield lost.
Ah, oh well, at least I still had my shield in, that's for sure.
Secret human saved.
Oh good, I got the secret one there.
Extra life. All humans saved. Power shot. Multiplier up.
Okay, so that's how that works.
Shield.
Yeah, definitely still a few more things to learn about this.
All humans safe.
The power shot seems nice though, since it helps clear a few enemies away as well.
Multiplier up. Maximum weapon power. All humans safe.
I was hoping to get through that wall there or something to see what it was, but I guess not.
Multiplier up. Shield lost.
Didn't even know I had a shield there. Ah, darn it, where did that guy come from? But yeah, definitely like the biggest reason any of these games like this can be successful is thanks to them being smart enough to learn. It's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't, you know, delay people from continuing to play our game, or kind of keep telling them that they failed for whatever reason. Like, I remember, I think Dark Souls is probably one of the few games that where it was able to get away with that little thing about it, like the whole thing about you have died or something like that, and how, let's see, and how, you know, it kept telling you you died, you know, and just how long it takes to go to leave that screen and then finally get back to where you were. I definitely felt like that game was a very big, one of those games that kind of dwelled on it too much. So what's this thing here?
Multiplier up.
So let's see, and like, I guess it has been interesting to play this game. It's very different from anything else I've played in quite a while. With being a twin-stick shooter, there aren't that many of those from what I recall. Like, I remember playing one back on my PS3 for a bit, but I remember that was like, it was because I got it for free. It was actually that game you got from one of the games you could choose getting because of the power outage. Sony, or not power outage, like back when Sony got hacked, and you know, and didn't tell anyone right away, but they tried to make up for it by giving people like a choice out of select few games and such.
Multiplier up. Shield lost.
Ah, how did I lose my shield? Couldn't even tell what hit me there.
Rocket launcher.
Okay, at least they do try to make the bullets fairly recognizable.
All humans safe. Multiplier up. Maximum
But yeah,
weapon
so
power.
you know, this is very much darn it, an action-oriented like type of game. So if you really do like action and want a challenge, then this definitely looks like a game for people to check out. Of course, my days back at the arcade, from what I remember, usually involved mostly Gauntlet, Legacy, as well as the Simpsons Brawler game. Like, I don't think I ever got those games as, like, you know, part of the consoles. Like I also did like I did like Crazy Taxi. Like that was one of the fun games they had on the in the arcades back in the day. That was always pretty fun. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's kind of it. Those are pretty much the games I remember the most from my arcade days. Like I know I've like there's one more of I forget what it was called, but it was like a sniper game where you actually had to look through a scope, and you actually saw kind of like the enemies that you had to take out with your sniper rifle. And so I always found that kind of fun. Of course, I guess one of the issues trying to do this game is also chat with your audience, because you really do have to kind of keep focus trying to play this. And I would definitely, you definitely want to be got plenty of sleep, plenty of energy, not sick and all that. Like I still remember, when I was sick yesterday, I took some time to play one of my games. Oh, I didn't realize I got the smart bomb on me. I thought I still had my rocket launcher. So, but one of the games I was playing was an RPG I've been playing for a while now. And I had trouble really focusing on the text and dialogue. Like I kept kind of, not blacking out, but just sort of not focusing. So it was very much like, and then of course I even had trouble trying to talk to people who were checking up on me. Oh, darn it. Oh, cool. I actually still have the damage I've dealt to him still there, so that really is nice. I don't have to try and continue, or I'm sure if I didn't have any more lives, then I would have to restart the battle. Darn it. We need to dodge these bullets. Let's see. But so yeah, like just because of my lack of sleep and me being sick and all, it really was hard to focus on any of the RPGs that I really do enjoy playing. So, and then this game is definitely would require plenty of concentration too. So, but World 3 -15. And I got plenty of humans, but I still haven't gotten them all yet. Which is weird, because I thought I got most of them, but oh well. But yeah, so let's see. So I was curious about the game and I picked it up when it went on sale. So it's been interesting and fun to play through so far. And of course I'll have plenty of other games to look out or check up on as well that are still on my list. Like for the most part, I have plenty on my backlog that I really shouldn't be buying too many more games, but it's nice to have that. It's nice to be able to have something else to do, especially if it's one you've been looking forward to or something different from what you're used to. Was that all of them? Yeah, I guess it was.
All humans safe. Multiplier up.
Yeah, I guess if I want to explore the entire area, then I need to make sure that I don't kill all the machines.
Dash explosion. All humans saved. Secret human saved.
Darn it. Oh, I just lost all my lives, so I have to go through a continue now and rebuild my powers.
All humans saved. Shield.
Oh, secret human. Oh well, I wanted to get that cube, but it seems like it takes a lot of hits and it's kind of hard to get through, so you'd need something like the rocket launcher or the power beam that I kind of had before I lost it, sadly.
Smart bomb. Shield. Secret level unlocked.
Oh really?
Shield lost.
Cool. Ah, darn it. Well, at least I know how to unlock or how to get the secret level, I guess.
All humans saved. Smart bomb.
Ah, darn it. I don't really like the smart bomb, or at least I'm not really sure what makes it good if it's just a bomb that surrounds you instead of, you know, something you can fire like anything else, but...
All humans saved. Secret level unlocked. Weapon range. Sword. Secret level.
There we go. Oh, that's probably it. Like, I have to go through the secret levels, I think, if I want to maybe save all the humans. Ah, darn it. I guess the sword is interesting, but... Ah, darn it. It's like, with how quick everything is, it might be better just to focus on, you know, on weapons that you can shoot from range, because there are way too many things going on all at once to fully deal with them all.
Disruptor detected. Multiplier up.
Darn it. Oh well. Oh yeah, at least with the continues that they restart you at the level and not at the beginning of the world.
Shield. Shield lost.
And then of course, you know, it doesn't help that my weapons aren't as powerful as they could be, and that there are a bunch of other kind of things going on here as well.
Human lost.
Oh, darn it.
Shield. Shield lost.
Ah, darn it.
Extra life.
Oh, well, I guess that's at least one way you can restart if you if you're trying to get all the humans. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that beacon lighthouse thing that sends out the wave.
Shield. All humans saved.
There we go.
Multiplier up. All humans saved.
Let's see, so...
Multiplier up.
I guess this game definitely just does remind me of, you know, the arcade days, just because of stuff like, it being very much kind of a shooter. since I don't usually go into shooters or play them that often.
Shield lost. All humans saved. Dash explosion. Multiplier up. All humans saved. Extra life.
Ah, darn it. Where did the wave come from, though?
Multiplier up. Rocket launcher. Human lost.
Wait, serious? Darn it. Guess I needed to distract that guy first. Oh, okay, so those things sends out waves.
Multiplier up. Disruptor detected.
Okay, that didn't work. I'd still send out a wave before I could stop it.
Shield. Shield lost. All humans saved. Multiplier up.
Darn it! I thought I dodged all that, but I guess not. Darn it, I'm sure I dashed there, but nope, it just did that. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning the game, you know. As much as I would like to say I'm a professional gamer, I do, like, it's not like I'm some sort of, like any game you play or anything you do will take time to learn. And so you should always kind of try to give yourself that time to learn and not be discouraged if you don't kind of get it right the first time.
Shield lost. Sword.
Great, I picked up the sword instead.
All humans saved.
This is definitely one of the harder levels, that's for sure.
Multiplier up. Weapon spread. All humans saved. Multiplier up. All humans saved.
But yeah, the game's like it is like, you know, I guess I don't mind that there isn't really a specific tutorial trying to teach us this stuff. It just simply allows you to play along and figure out the controls for yourself, which, you know, can work for some games as long as the levels and areas are kind of set up just right to help test you. But then most of the time, most people should be able to at least test out each of the buttons, see if they do something or not. Mostly it helps if you're using a controller. Like if you try testing things out on a keyboard, it might take a while with how many keys there are.
Multiplier up. Sword. Triple dash. Rocket launcher.
There we go. I would have preferred the rocket launcher over the sword any day. Okay, so yeah, there are kind of like secret things or hidden things that you may not notice at first, but you can take care of if you've given the time. But yeah, like during most of the mayhem, you're usually trying to just simply survive.
Multiplier up. All humans saved. Laser. Weapon range.
Definitely not sure about this boss, if he has any inspirations to him or not, but okay, that's new. Neon shurikens. But yeah, this it definitely, for the most part, this game is interesting, and I would actually, I've already said that plenty of times, so I guess like I definitely like, I know you can probably kind of write some games off right away without even playing them, and then other times it can take a while to kind of figure out the game to see if it is worth your time or not. Like, I always have an issue with that sometimes. Like, there are some games that, like, you know, I would try out some demos for, and like, oh, darn it. Great, I just lost all my stuff. Oh good, I actually...
Triple dash. Weapon range. Dash explosions. Laser.
Okay, so I actually did get my stuff back, thankfully.
All humans saved.
I guess I would probably prefer maybe the rocket or the power shot over.
Rocket launcher.
Ah, darn it. Of course, I just...
Rocket launcher.
yeah, I only just now got that rocket. But yeah, I think the rocket is a bit better because it does just one shot right away. It does a lot, you know, it does a good chunk of damage, and you're kind of not stuck trying to do more or slow down like the laser does. The smart bomb is not enough range, of course.
Rocket launcher.
So yeah, I pretty much would recommend any ranged weapon in this game is better than any of the close range stuff, if you ask me. Like, I can understand why they would put those in, because they sort of had to have something different. And I'm sure there might be some benefits or advantages to having those kind of weapons, but at least to me, in my playstyle and how I want to do this, I'm happier going for the range instead. I guess there's less aiming involved if you were to focus on that, but I still prefer having distance, so I don't have to worry about accidentally running into people, or in this case, robots. Darn it! I thought I was able to move out of the way, but... But yeah, this game so far does feel like it's forgiving enough, but still challenging enough to, you know. And I know some games kind of have trouble with that, and other times it's even worse. Like, I still remember when I played through Knack once.
World complete.
This was actually back when the game was free on PlayStation Plus. So I was able to try it out that way, or try it, or play through it, funny enough. And the game itself was okay, but it was really annoying on normal. Like, it felt like you were this big hulking brute, but most of the time you could die in like 1 or 2 hits, which to me seemed pretty ridiculous. Like, I would expect him to be a bit more durable, even if Knack was made up of a bunch of small relics. And he did at least find himself super powerful against some of the smaller enemies when you got to that point, but the weirder thing was, like, no matter, even if you faced off against little enemies, sometimes you'd always find bigger ones that would, of course, take you out in a few hits. And then, of course, you would lose all your relics at certain points through the game and have to build up all over again. And so it was just like you never felt a sort of progression at all. You just kept going big to small, but you didn't always feel like you were super powerful for very long. But enough talking. We'll continue here once I get some water, 'cause chatting all this time, especially after recovering from a fever, is not really good for, or you really need to make sure you keep getting fluids. But yeah, I probably won't be streaming for too much longer. Part of me still, as I said, is recovering, and as much fun as it is to hang with you guys each day, I'll of course try and take the weekend to recover a bit more and be fully freshed and ready to play some Fortnite back on Monday. But of course, you know, you guys can always check out my other videos and things I try to have made up and ready.
All humans saved. Extra life.
Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to try and kind of look around a little and keep shooting stuff. I guess this is kind of how you would try to find secrets if you weren't familiar with them before. But, never mind. Guess I ran out of time there, or something.
All humans saved. Sword.
Darn it. Apparently that was a pretty short level. But these levels themselves are very self-contained. Like, they all kind of share the environment or the world you're supposedly in, kind of fighting areas, but, you know, they're definitely not like other games where you kind of have to choose a stage before you could move on. Kind of like the Mario games, you know, you choose a stage in that world and kind of go from there. And instead, it's kind of in here that they're all interconnected, and you just kind of go from one to the next. So it's fairly, at least quick in that sense. There goes my last life there. But I can see how you might run out of continues for this game with kind of how things are going. At least they do give you the chance to try and get that stuff back. So yeah, I think like the game itself has had fairly good design and ideas put into it that, you know, that you could tell these people knew what they were doing and that they kind of actually gave the game some thought. Because there have been plenty of other games I've played where it feels like some of them were maybe too focused on established ideas or designs for things and sort of kept them that way instead of trying to tune them better to kind of make them fit the way they might work better in that sort of game. Like, think of some of the Mario games. Oh, darn it, I thought. And how... Okay, that didn't work. Like, for the most part, the Mario games, while are fairly well designed in terms of how the gameplay and levels are, darn it, I feel like there's way too many of these guys, the ones that kind of aim for you, trying to kill you with their lasers and all, while still dealing with this giant thing and its lasers. You know, like the only issue I really have with the Mario games as they are now is the whole thing with the live system. Like you know, like it used to be back in the arcade days where, you know, you would have a certain number of lives and then, you know, that was kind of it. And then of course once you ran out of lives, then you had to have it continue and start the level or the world all over again. And so, like, sure, it made sense back then, but we're kind of at a point where, you know, people who are kind of playing games now would just simply want to continue. They don't want to have to worry about, they don't want to have to worry, oh, darn it. Oh well. That was only, well, it was a smart bomb, but it could have been something else I could have used, which would have been nice. So I do feel like lives themselves are kind of, you know, who cares? Like, why is this mechanic still here? You know, because I think if you want to stop playing the game, then you'll just simply quit. You know, there's no need for there to be this arbitrary, it's like, yeah, you can only play this so many times before you, like, it's sort of like maybe a fake challenge, I guess you could call it, that you could do that, you know, it's a way for people to kind of give themselves their own difficulty about how to play a game. Like, hey, you can beat this game, but maybe you want to beat it in only one life, or something like that. Yeah, that looks like everything, so... Schedule. and try and keep things like that. Like any makeup streams I would do, I would make sure I plan in advance. But even then, if I were to make up for something, I'll just maybe stream for the extra hour or something like that. But today I'm just trying to take it easy and enjoy a new game I recently picked up for the Steam Summer Sale, and this is one of them, Nex Machina. Let's see. So pretty much it's very much the original stage, just with the idea of trying to score high or stuff like that. Oh, well, I guess I'll go through experienced here and try and play this for a little bit longer here. I'm not sure why my thing seems to be having problems with this game in terms of FPS. But yeah, so sorry, you'll just have to find something else to do. I'm try to do work on stuff during the weekend and things like that, so I'm usually busy during that time. But you know, things will change over time, and who knows, if I ever can actually make a full career out of this, I'm sure I'll stream more often. But for now, I'll just kind of stream Monday through Friday for 4 hours each day, or yeah, usually 4, maybe 5 hours. So we'll see.
All humans saved.
There we go.
Disruptor detected. Multiplier up. Weapon range.
Besides, there's always plenty of other streamers out there you could always check out. You know, I try to at least host a few streamers I think are pretty cool on my channel. If you ever want to check those guys out, they might be streaming during the weekends.
Secret human safe. Multiplier up.
But yeah, so definitely an enjoyable game for this one. Sadly, it's a bit short, I guess. I don't think T-Bear really streams often enough for me to host, or at least I don't host him, just because he doesn't really stream that often, and he's probably not really, maybe not up to the quality I would expect one to be at if they want to actually stream in a certain level. So he's at least not part of my hosting people that I have. Like he's cool, but I'm sure he has plenty of other things to do than to try and stream all the time.
All humans saved. Extra life. Shield. Laser.
But yeah, so, and actually funny enough, I haven't heard from Terrazen Bear in a long time now. Like, I don't normally see him over on Fortnite, but it could be he's like maybe off on a vacation with his folks or something. Or, you know, he's busy doing other stuff, who knows. But yeah, I don't think he streams often enough, at least not from what I've seen, so he's not someone I would normally host. But I do recommend a guy I've been hosting lately. Ah, great, I lost a few humans already. Called Super Derek. He's pretty cool. I've chatted with him a few times on when he's streaming. Ah, darn it. Well, yeah, I know. I'm still working on the review videos, but I'm always hosting, or I'm always, putting out my Let's Plays Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So you could always save those for later. And I don't really do much for tutorial videos. I guess I feel like if the Let's Plays is usually where I like to explain and kind of talk about what I do and how I do things in there, I guess. But but I'm always working on my Let's Plays, and I work on some scripts I'm trying to figure out. I just need to maybe get a few more things for my setup here for stuff like that. But like we all kind of work in our own time, and we all have our own schedules. So sadly, it's best to try and do what you think it's best in your schedule, not if someone else. Like I try to generate content as I'm doing for people to watch. Nah, I like to try and keep my personal life and my professional a bit separate. And there's really like I don't really do that much IRL that I feel like would really be a reason to stream it. You know, like my life is my life. It's may not be just like yours, but it's not as exciting as you might imagine. And I think it's always good to have a little mystery in life in the first place. If you just know everything about something or someone, then then there's really not that much interesting to kind of see about their life. So, what all you need to know is just what my life is right here in this little tiny box as I play games every now and then each day. Anything outside of that is kind of what my life is, and you should go ahead and just enjoy what your life is, not try to follow mine. Okay, it looks like I can't do anything at that thing. But I know probably other people have their reasons for watching IRL streams and stuff like that. But I think, okay, that was a lot of enemies there. But for the most part, I think I'm I'm I this is kind of what I wish to do as part of my streaming, not to show off what my life is like, if my life is better than someone's, or if my life is worse than someone's, and whatever their ideas are. For the most part, my life is my life, and that's kind of how I have it. No need. I don't really feel like I need to share it with others. Maybe it's something I can do in the future if I ever get big enough, if that's what people really want. But for now, I'm just gonna keep my life as my life, and you can just simply enjoy me playing my games here. I'll just tell them it's none of their business. As much as they want to know about me, and there's plenty of stuff I'm fine with sharing, but there's kind of a line that you have to draw for people to, that it's like it's none of their business really what they know about, but because like I think it's a bit like some like the whole idea of a famous person because they're famous for one reason or another. Like one of the issues I sometimes have with a few celebrities is that they kind of voice their opinions and they expect people to follow them about their opinions or to have the same opinions as them just because they're famous. So, and to me that seems uh very what's the word? Very chauvinistic, maybe? No, that's not it. Either way, Uh, so it like sure, people are fine asking questions, and I'm sure there are some questions I'll answer and others I won't. for one reason or another. But for the most part, you know, they should also be happy to kind of have their own fans and their own life, because a stream or a famous streamer isn't there. He is there to entertain. He's not there to be your friend. You know, I know that sounds a bit callous maybe, but you know, like there's only so much interaction and socialization people can have, and that when it does come to who your friends are and who your fans are, you have to make sure you draw that line. And so, you know, there are plenty of questions some things I'll answer easy enough here and there. But if there's a question I won't answer, then I won't answer it, and that's my own business. If you want to learn who I am, then you know that's a different matter entirely. But you know, I think that kind of comes up to the point where now, Agent Secret, you know, I'm fine chatting with you. I'm appreciative of your support, and I'm glad that you're here. You know, for the most part, I'll like, I do have difficulty trying to uh, befriend people I've never met. But yeah, there are a bunch of weirdos out there, and I try to make sure that I hopefully don't um, deal with them too often, because I've seen kind of the damage um, the internet can do to people, and that I would like to be one of those people who isn't a casualty of that. So hopefully, you know, such things are hopefully a little bit less common in the future. That there won't be as many trolls or bullies or such people that just think there are no consequences to their interactions online. Oh, well, I'm sure. Well, for advertising wise, I'm not really like I would like to start interacting with other people. No, nothing like that. The numbers you wish to find or the people you wish to interact with you or check out your stream, especially for gaming, the internet really is the best place to advertise, because so many people use the internet now. It's ridiculous. And a lot of them are probably people who would be interested in watching gamers, who watch people play games and such. So trying to go for passing out flyers in real world or putting up posters, I don't think would really work out that well. It's like there's a reason why a lot of advertising has gone online now and compared to what it was before. So, you know, I'll try, like, one of the things I do want to do is to start going to conventions where, especially where a lot of other famous YouTubers and Twitch streamers go to. Like, there's actually one I'm planning on going to in August. That's actually happening this August over in Phoenix. Oh yeah, don't worry. Yeah, TwitchCon would be the biggest one to go to, and you know, I'll be curious to check that out, see kind of what's all involved, how I would get there, what I would need to get there, and so forth. But I think um, creating connections with some of those people and being able to kind of get their support, especially if they can host me um, when they're not streaming, would be a big help. I think that would be the best way to kind of get more advertisement. But you know, all future plans that are being made. But for now, I'll just have to enjoy my time when I'm streaming, and of course try and get to work on that during my weekends, which is a good time as any to work on that. So let me go ahead and finish up this world at least, and then I'll probably wrap up for the day because I'm still recovering from yesterday's sickness that I was able to kind of finally get rid of today. Ah, darn it. Oh well, I guess technically this is a good a time as any to wrap up now. I'm getting pretty tired and I still need a bit more sleep, I think. That's weird. I don't see anyone called that in my chat here. But oh well, it's Yeah, I guess I'm not really seeing him in the chat window or at least in this chat that I'm looking at right now. Well, I'm sure that's something I'll have to research as well, just because, you know, if he's not doing much to support me, but only supporting himself, then I'll have to figure out how to deal with that. But as I said, a problem for another day while I'm not streaming. So thanks for letting me know. I'll try and check out this electrical skateboard and see if any research will pop up for him. But yeah, so thanks for coming by. I should be all good to go on Monday for some more Fortnite. So until next time, have fun gaming.